Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Okay, it's Monday evening. My title, Angie Stone, Grammy-nominated R&B singer, dies in car crash. She was also a hip-hop pioneer, for those who don't know. And I'm going to be challenging some of you this evening, some of you FBA, Foundational Black Americans, to put some respect on her name. Don't just say, oh, yeah, she was from South Carolina. Call in, say something nice about her. A true pioneer going back to the 70s. And I never met her, but I did see Sequence live, and I printed out the flyer to remind myself it was 1981, May the 9th, at the East Harlem Armory. Sugar Hill Gang was there, Grandmaster Flash, and Furious 5, Funky 4+1, and the Crash Crew. I remember Disco Dave on stage, but the Sequence, saw them on stage. For those who, again, don't know, Angie Stone's former name was Angie B, along with Cheryl the Pearl and Blondie. So let me start out by saying, because many people are making videos right now with regards to her making or putting up posts recently to her being robbed by the quote-unquote industry. I believe that. I most certainly do. But I believe she was robbed by black people, a lot of black people. And I'm going to have a buddy of mine calling this evening. You guys have heard Goo calling to the show before. Goo is a music specialist with regards to publishing, residuals, royalties, and things of that nature. And yeah, she was robbed by black people. She went on to become a very successful R&B singer, okay? And she put out 10 albums, studio albums, okay? She was last living in Atlanta, Georgia, and this past Saturday, in case you don't know, at 4 a.m., she died along, well, there were 9 people in the Sprinter that they were driving in, heading back from Alabama into Atlanta, and it was 4 a.m., it flipped over 3 or 4 times, and she's the only person who died. So many of you are, again, you're making videos, conspiracy stuff and Illuminati. And I'm not going to say don't do that, but just remember, she came out of that Sugar Hill Gang, Sugar Hill Records camp. And there were horror stories with regards to a lot of the artists being robbed and never getting royalties and residuals and so forth. Okay. Also, guys, showrunner, did Lamont Roach get robbed of his moment? Well, who is Lamont Roach? Good evening in the live chat. You guys up to speed? Lamont Roach stepped up to the plate this past Saturday, in case you don't know. If anybody is a boxing aficionado, please call in. What's going on with Tank, a.k.a. Gervonta Davis, and Coach Cal? That much I don't know. At the end of the fight, when most people, including myself, felt that Tank lost the fight by way of decision, but it was a draw. In case you don't know, it was a draw. Tank went over to his corner and he was putting his coat over his head and whispering so that Coach Cal couldn't hear him. I mean, some real goofball shit. Yeah, no. A lot of problems in Tank's camp, but Lamont Roach stepped up to the plate. Nobody expected this young man to do what he did, including me. I never saw this coming. Lamont Roach Jr., pardon me if I didn't specify, born in 1995 out of Washington, D.C., stepped up to the plate, okay? And he's what you would call a paper champion, coming out of the 130-pound division. So he went up in weight to fight Tank, and they did fight before. I think it was, I forget the year, maybe 2019, if anybody wants to correct me. He lost to Tank, all right? But he stepped up to the plate this past Saturday, and we're going to discuss the knee that Tank took and his claims about the grease in his eye, and then his hairstylist who put up a post saying, nah, that's cap. But Lamont Roach, was he robbed? Let me say right now, I think he was robbed. I think he was robbed. And this is part of the problem. It has been over the decades, if you will, the problem with boxing, you know, the politics and those belts and, oh my goodness, the politics. And it's lost its luster. The fight was, hang on a second, was supposed to happen months ago. Then they rescheduled it, pushed it back. Nobody believed in this guy, Lamont Roach Jr., to even last a few rounds, but he made it the entire distance, and I think he won the fight. All right, phone lines open right now. Let me just say something else here. I want to ask you guys with regards to Angie Stone, a.k.a. Angie B. Was she in the documentary, Microphone Check, The Hidden History of Hip Hop? I got to go watch it again. Okay, Tariq Nasheed put together a brilliant documentary, Microphone Check. Was she in there? Was she in there? I don't remember, but from South Carolina again, and they were writing a lot of music for Sugar Hill Records, Sequence, and she used to speak about that. As a matter of fact, she was on Vlad TV maybe 3 or 2 years ago talking about not getting paid. So some of you who think that she's just now started talking about this, she's been talking about it. Matter of fact, Goo, where are you? Are you ready? Goo. Let me see if my homie's ready to call in. And other people as well. Okay, peace to Sadat X, my homie. He's got a brand new track in my community section. We'll talk about that shortly. Goo, are you ready? Let's go. We're going to spend some time on Angie Stone this evening, a.k.a. Angie B, all right? And also, guys, I want to talk about, where are my notes here? The analytics of the show here, for those of you who, from time to time, want to see the behind the scenes, okay? Send me an email, and we will send you the analytics for advertising or whatever it is that you're interested in, okay? Area code 415, sit tight. I want to get Goo on the line right now so we can talk about Angie Stone, Angie B. Hey, Vernell, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Okay. Yes, I'm challenging FBA tonight. Do some research. Preserve your history, your legacy before somebody else does, and then you'll be bent out of shape. Angie Stone. I've never heard a bad word about this woman. I've never heard any controversy. Guys, didn't she have a child with D'Angelo? I think a son or a daughter. No, pardon me, a daughter. Where are my notes? If I'm not mistaken, she named her first album after her daughter. Okay, Black Diamond, 1999. 1999. I think that was the album named after her daughter. Yes, no, son? They're saying son, okay. Deeds, can you check and confirm, Deeds, if you're out there? I thought it was a daughter, okay. Hey, Varnell, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, okay. Oh, and salute to the Most High. The Most High, I got your email. Holy smokes. We'll come back to that another night. Okay, there's Goo. I'm going to bring him in. We're going to have this discussion, guys, about this pioneer, this queen, Angie Stone, Grammy-nominated. And also, let me just say this with regards to her claims about Universal. Goo is going to break down how the Sugar Hill catalog was sold, who it was sold to, and the multiple allegations and lawsuits over the years. Goo is a guy who, again, has called in. He's a friend of mine. He's spoken about everything with regards to publishing lawsuits. This is his world of specialty. Hey, Goo, are you there? Tapping in early on a Monday night.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, man. Good to hear from you. Thank you for being available.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm good. You know, everything's good, man.
Okay.
How's everything?
Good, good. For those who don't know, publishing, royalties, what am I missing here with regards to your area of knowledge, finding?
I could kind of say, you know, I kind of break down contracts, get people out of deals. I help with artist royalties, producer royalties, publishing. You know, I see mistakes and flaws by the Schedule A that the big publishers hold. I use it against them, get them a check. you know, I just that's my job. I just, you know, find the weaknesses and the holes of the big guy. They, you know, some of these companies got 4 or 5 million copyrights.
Yeah.
That's like me telling you to juggle 30, 40 balls. You know, you're eventually going to drop something.
Pause.
So, you
Pause.
know, yeah, yeah, pause. So I'm just saying, like, you know, these big companies, you know, even ASCAP BMI, I see flaws with them. I get money adjusted. You know, none of these companies are your friend.
Yeah.
So, you know, I prove that to my clients. That's my job.
If I can jump up for a second, Goo. Thank you, Deeds. Deeds says Angie and D'Angelo have a son together. Her daughter is with Rodney.
Yes.
Rodney. Okay, Angie's ex-husband. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Deeds. I just wanted to clarify that. And Counselor at Large, I got your donation on the screen. Okay, Goo. I never met Angie Stone. Never heard a bad word about her. Formerly known as Angie B. I'm saying yes, she was robbed. I'm saying by mainly black people. What say you, Goo?
I agree. You know, she chased her. You know, she died chasing the catalog, trying to get back. You know, trying to get back her rights. She's been deceived for, you know, I would say 40 years or more, 45 years or more since the late 70s. You know, the opposition played copyright games, played with her credits, finagled her writer name in different territories. You know, there's just a whole bunch of experience games that, you know, she didn't see coming. I mean, you know, also, you know, not to always mention Sugar Hill, but, you know, they were mob related. A lot of the artists didn't want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So they were scared to ask for their money, you know, and they continued to collect, you know. They just knew how to take advantage. And plus, you know, they're just like some of these other guys. They don't send statements. They never wanted to give you a biannual or quarterly statement. You know, you would have to fight for your money. They've been to court a million times, so they got ring experience. When you go to court with them, you know, they're gonna put you in dimensions that you don't know and settle for low money, and it's a continual game. I mean, they're not the only ones that do that. I mean, there's Jelly Bean, Armin Palladian, Bridgeport Music.
Jelly Bean Benitez, for those who don't know.
Jelly Bean Benitez, Bridgeport Music. You know, there's some Steve Plotnicki Profile Records. I mean, there's plenty of guys like this. There's plenty of guys like this that don't care and will take you to court. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they know at the end of the day, your lack of experience is going to get you 10 cents on the dollar or things like that.
Right.
You know?
If I can jump up for a second, the sequence again out of Columbia, South Carolina. They were writing songs, hooks, and other things for Sugar Hill. What was that relationship like toward the end? Because you're from Jersey, in case folks don't know. Sugar Hill Records out of New Jersey, and you know them. You know the
I mean, the father taught me the business. Basically, he taught me the publishing business.
Right.
Right. The sons used to try to distract me to get away from the father, so I wouldn't be educated. And you know, the father grew up with my family, and you know, he was trying to help me out. You know, learn the business that I wanted to be in. So you know, I thank him for that at least. Right. The kids, I could give two shits about. Excuse my language.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. What was that relationship between Sugar Hill, you know, and Angie Stone toward the end?
Well, I know. Once again, the games that they would play, they would register your song in the BMI account, collect your money, and things like that. You know, a lot of people weren't even getting their own writer money because they would register the songs into their address, things like that. So they would see minimal royalties. You know, minimal royalties. Mind you, remember the Sugar Hill Gang, the biggest record that they did. The father never even tried to get it counted on SoundScan or anything like that because he didn't want nobody to know how many records it sold. Right. You know, or RIAA, whatever the process was to count the amount of records. Because if you knew the Sugar Hill record sold 5 million, then at least you got some type of accounting of what was owed and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So the father was very sophisticated. I mean, no one was getting paid.
Is he still alive? Is he still alive?
No, he died in like the year 2000, 2001, rest in peace.
Okay.
But like I said, like he was mob related. You know, you could be at the studio. I grew up in the area, Englewood. I used to walk by 96 West Street all the time.
Right,
It was a legend. It was a legendary area. You know, I'd see Melly Mel, all sorts of people when I was in 7th grade. You know, coming in and out of there and things like that. It was very inspiring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could have been the first Def Jam if they just played fair accounting.
I gotta say
You know
this.
what I'm saying?
I got a crazy story. It must have been almost late 80s. I was working at Warner Electra Atlantic, and I'm on the getting on the #1 train to go uptown. Melly Mel gets on, and he's dusty. He had on some type of construction boots. I guess he was, and I shouldn't laugh. I mean, it's making an honest living. But it was like 88, and I'm like, yo, Melly Mel, yo, what's up, man?
Hey, isn't that his brother or his relative that did the stabbing, and he's in jail too?
Well, never mind him. You're talking about Kid Crew. I'm talking about Melly Mel, Grandmaster Melly Mel. Not saying he should be pumping drugs, but 88, and I'm just like, well, I'm saying to myself, I was stupid. Then I'm like, well, why is he on the train? Why isn't he, pushing a pen at this point? Because they came out of the late 70s. And I'm just saying all that to say it must have been very sophisticated, the business dealings of Sugar Hill Records. But anyway, how many times has the Sugar Hill catalog been shifted around, and who owns it at this point? Do you know?
Well, on the master side, Sugar Hill did a transaction with Rhino, which is controlled by Warner.
Okay.
So Rhino has like all the classic music that's maybe like 30, 40 years old and things like that. All the classic songs are under Rhino. Cold Chillin' Records, things like that. All that stuff is under Rhino. And they receive, a biannual through Rhino twice a year. Now, their obligation is to make up those statements and pay the artist. But they remember the studio went on fire around the year 2000. So if you bring them to court, they're gonna say, oh, we can't find the contracts. The studio went on fire. Like, we have no contracts. It's all excuses. But Rhino has the master portion on the publishing, and Universal has the publishing portion probably since like 2010, 11 or something like that. Domestically, foreign wise, they got international publishers to collect the money.
So
like that.
Angie Stone was talking about Universal. And I don't remember her interview on Vlad TV. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago? And she spoke then and countless times about not getting paid. Was she in litigation at all, or was she trying to get some type of representation?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think she was in the process of trying to get a lawyer for litigation. Now, when you mentioned Universal, I do recall that she was trying to chase down Bruno Mars for Uptown Funk You Up, and she felt that she was owed a portion of that.
Did he pay her? Did he pay her?
No, not at all. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, she died chasing that, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big record, mind you. Remember, "Keep Your Head Ringing"? That was Dr. Dre. That was her. Erykah Badu used a whole bunch of people used their stuff, and she was just trying to catch her money with the derivative works.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff got licensed. Some of the stuff got licensed through Sugar Hill, but that don't mean they're going to pay you.
With all due respect to her son's father, D'Angelo, didn't she write a lot of his first and possibly second albums? I forget. Did he pay her?
I was told that she did do some writing, but I think she did get some credit for that.
To hell with credit.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what.
Go to hell with credit. Did she get paid for that stuff, man?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Guys, phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. I'm talking to my homie Goo with regards to Angie Stone, Grammy-nominated R&B singer. She died in a Sprinter, an SUV. They were coming back from Alabama this past Saturday, headed into Atlanta. Yeah. Her family has released a statement. I hope they do something for her at some of these award ceremonies. With regards to the Grammys, nominated for in several categories. Pardon me, and I have her information here. She seemed to be very humble to me. Did you ever meet her, Goo? Angie Stone?
No, never met her. I was looking for her about 2 weeks ago. I was on a podcast calling her name out. Coincidentally, she passed away.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could have helped her with, all of the situations. It's just unfortunate, but, maybe I'll catch the family and try to help them on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do. You find money. And guys, I'm talking to Goo. Should I be putting something on the screen, Goo, where people can find you?
Yeah, you can put at Gangu Rich on Instagram or what have you. You could do that.
I thought I had your information with regards to people contacting you. Guys, Goo can help you if you have been robbed. If you're being robbed.
Yeah, I mean, I take care of estates. I work with estates. Obviously the Big Pun estate I was very successful with. I helped the DMX estate. I got some of the Temptations estate. Some of the writers over there. I got the Delphonics estate. So the thing about the estates is that they know the least. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could call up somebody from the estate and say, "Oh no, he owed me money," and even the scenario with the Pun estate when Joe was saying, "No, he owed me money." You know what I'm saying? How's she gonna know?
Okay.
What happened? I got to go prove if somebody's lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And come back with the money yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that play could happen now. With the son or anybody asking about Angie's money now. Anybody could come up with some story to delay the game for a couple of years. When the truth is right there.
Yeah. 702 pal, I got your cash up. 702 pal, the Star and Buck Wild / Star Report brand has lived by the moniker always forward, never backwards, homie. Yeah, I'm not trying to sit here and do things I did back in 2001, but thanks for your donation.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm talking to Goo, and should I put your email address on the screen, Goo, or should I put what do you want on the screen for people to contact you?
The Instagram.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to do that while I bring a call in. You got a minute?
Sure.
Okay.
I got time. I got all night.
Can you email me your IG page so I can put that on the screen? Goo, can you do that right now?
Yeah. Email it to.
Yes, send it via email. Area code 515. Good evening. We're talking about Angie Stone has passed away.
You.
Are you there? 515? Yes, no, maybe. 515. Okay, thank you. We got to keep it pushing. Folks, please don't call us on a speakerphone. You're not ready to talk. Area code 415. Good evening. Are you there?
Good evening. Yes, I am. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, man?
Doing good. And hello to your guests as well, to the gentleman that's on the line.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Rest in eternal peace to Angie Stone. And as you were talking about, Star, as far as her being robbed by black people.
Yeah.
Her story is obviously no different from a lot of the black artists, from the Little Richards to the Jackie Wilsons to even artists that were on Motown. So they just seem to always get the short end of the stick. And it just seems as though, unfortunately, we just don't seem to have our business right. And so a lot of times we seem to get the short end of the stick. So as you were talking about with Angie Stone and her group being on Sugar Hill, and obviously they were mob related, and Morris Levy, who had involvement with Frankie Lyman, and Frankie Lyman as a solo artist, and the teenagers and things like that. So obviously Morris had swindled Frankie into signing off his publishing, and then years later, our wife had to fight to get those royalties, but then still got the short end of the stick. Another example, we had Jackie Wilson, Brownsville Records, Nat Turton-Paul, his manager, Barry Gordy Jr. tried to get him off of Brunswick to sign to Motown because of the work that Barry and Jackie did together in writing. But Nat Turton-Paul was such a beast that he couldn't get off of that. Jackie Wilson, that is. So, as a matter of fact, I believe Jackie had wrote a song, and Nat Turton-Paul put his unborn child's name as a co-writer.
Can I ask what your background is? Do you want to say, are you part?
I work in radio.
Okay.
I work in radio.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, so Morris Levy is part of Sugar Hill, also.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just unfortunate, just the way that that black artists seem to just get
Well,
robbed and abused and things like that, as far as on the business sense, on the business part of the business of music.
I really think that these record labels understand that the blacks know the least about the business, and
Right.
all they don't care what the ramification is. They want your market share. They only care about market share. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Absolutely.
if they have a publisher that's signed to them and they know that the publisher is robbing you for your money, they don't
Right.
care. You know what I'm saying? Really, like as long as they can keep the market share under their administration, because that's what the competition is in the record business. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
The more the merrier. They care about the market share. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to lose no songs.
Guys,
No.
if I can
None.
jump in for a second. I'm sure there were other cultures who robbed her as well, but I want to make sure that we go right to the origins of her rise, because it's a very common thing, if you ask me, that black people rob other black people when they're coming up. Goo, can we speak to some of these people who try to catch artists or groups coming out the gate and sign them to percentage deals? That is one of the worst things to ever do.
Yeah, well,
give somebody a percentage without them breaking down what they can do to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, Coachella Records was like that in the 80s. For example, if you signed to Coachella Records, you would get a percentage. You would have no publishing designee, so they would just give you a percentage, you know, and you wouldn't be able to retain your rights or copyright until you do a U.S. termination, and then maybe 35 years from there, from the time of you signing, maybe 35 years later, maybe you just have U.S. rights. But they would still.
I want to talk about hang on a second, some of the people, some of these so-called managers and production companies. The labels are something different. You've got a bunch of grifters, people who don't understand the business, and they prey on, you know, young teenagers or you know, younger artists. So, oh, I'll take you to a label, or I'll do this and do that for you. Those are the worst ones, in my opinion. The labels is something. Yes, we understand that machine, but some of the young grifters.
You want me to name names or something? I mean, like Sly Ty.
Well, we don't have to do that. We don't have to name names, but I'm just talking about some of the games, that are played. And, you know, when we look at the history of young people who, you know, right off the streets, you know, and then after you don't pay your taxes, after you've done all these handouts, the people who robbed you originally, who took you to the label, or who brought you through a production deal, they're still benefiting off of your ignorance. Those people.
I grew up with kids like that in high school that signed deals to production companies, like signed to Gene Griffin, GR Productions, and things like that.
There you go.
They had no rights.
I was just going to say that.
They had no rights. They had no publishing, you know, and to this day, you know, at least with those works that they did, they're still jammed up. And you know, being 17, 18, I really can't blame them. I probably would have signed the same deal, you know, just being overexcited and not understanding what copyrights were. When I was in high school, there was only if there was 30 guys trying to be in the music business, I only knew one kid named Delwyn Williams who knew what copyrights and publishing was down to the T. Everybody else was, you know, just wanted to be famous, you know what I'm saying, and didn't really understand the business. So, I mean, and some of these guys, to this day, they're still mad at the contract that they signed. They're still mad at the world over what happened in '89. And, you know, it's kind of foolish, but, you know, if you're great, you could still be great. I know a bunch of people who got jerked in the business and still did great things, but some of these guys, they just dwell on it. You know what I'm saying?
415,
can I say something?
Hold on a second. 415, what name are you going by?
D minor.
D minor?
Yes, sir.
D as in David. Okay, go ahead. D minor, you have the floor.
Yeah, I just want to say, the gentleman just mentioned GR Productions, and oh man, I was just thinking that too, and just thinking about that too, and when Griffin became the manager for Guy or earlier Kids at Work, what he ended up doing was he ended up signing as the fourth member of Guy. So he, you know, he wasn't a performing member, but he was the one that was taking care of the business. So whenever they went into publishing or things like that, he always got a 1/4 share. So I think all of them signed, with the exception of Timmy Gatlin. So in a sense, Timmy was able to leave out with his publishing, and they had to sign off he had to sign off for that first album to be released.
Right.
So so in that sense, he was able to do that. But that same situation has happened to bands like the Meters, the Neville Brothers.
Right.
They all got dipped or gypped by managers in their production companies. The same with New Edition. The New Edition, they didn't become a MCA artist until they got to the Heartbreak album in 1988.
And that's when Johnny Gill joined, right?
Right. That's when Johnny Gill joined. But they were they were signed when they got off of Streetwise and went to Gerald Busby and them. They were signed to Jump and Shoot Productions.
Okay.
So which was their at the time manager's production company, and then they didn't realize what it was until they got to 87, 88, which is about the time that Johnny Gill got there.
Right.
Hopefully they signed Determination. This guy's spot on. I actually have a GR Productions contract, and it reads as he said.
Oh wow.
I got a contract. I was supposed to make a call today to we did a termination for a group. I was supposed to make a call today for my lawyer to check up on it for GR Production contract.
Hold on a second. D Minor, how many years have you been in radio?
22 years.
Okay. I'm sure you've gone through some of the things that I used to go through back in the days. People dropping off music for you at the station.
Yeah.
In the early days,
I started in.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I started in public radio, then went to commercial radio, then I went back to public radio, NPR affiliate, and things like that. So, and I still have my hands in commercial radio too.
No, what I was going to say was, in the early days of my radio career, people would try to drop off tapes, at the radio station. It got to a point where I had to announce on the show, "Do not drop off music here." I'm not even listening to it, because if someone created a beat similar to yours, you sampled some music and you thought you were the only person in the world who sampled a goddamn track, and then somebody comes out with it 2 months later on the radio, "Yo, they stole my beat." I mean, the most insane nonsense. So I had to literally say, I used to have to make announcements: "Do not drop off unsolicited material." I just want to say that, guys.
That's right. No, that's right. And thank you for saying that, Star. Yeah. Because that's true. Because when it comes down to it, you would be the one that get the lawsuit.
Oh yeah.
In the station.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So no, I mean you were right on that part though, Star. So yeah. So yeah, much respect to you as well. But I just want to say thank you. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just want to say thank you for bringing this up. Angie Stone was an amazing artist. And it's really too bad that she went out the way she did. Yeah. Because like you said, she went out, and I'm sure she got tired of being on the road. Yeah. I'm sure she wanted to be at home with her family, and being able to enjoy the time that she has with her kids. I'm sure her grandchildren, things like that. Yeah. I also want to say something too, if I may. Well wishes to Dwayne Wiggins of Tony, who's not doing good in health.
Oh boy,
he's
wow.
It's pretty.
Send me a link.
Pretty bad.
Send me a link when you get time. Send me a link, man.
We'll do.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Goo, stay right there. Hang on a second. Hold on, Goo. Hold on. I want to make sure I click this caller off. Area code 205. Sit tight. You're up next. Eric, I got your Cash App. Hold on a second. He says, what's up with Goo? Okay. Let me put that in the top of the, let me see if I can find that donation. Guys, Goo's information is on the screen right there. Instagram.com/Gongu Roach. Hey, go ahead, Goo. You want to say something?
Hey, Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a personal relative. My Uncle Mookie got robbed in the music industry.
Okay.
By James Brown. Now, my uncle Mookie had 50% of It's a Man's World with Betty Newsom and James Brown. Okay. All right. He met my uncle Mookie went to meet up with James Brown at a hotel in Manhattan. James Brown said, "Yo, I got some white girls upstairs." My Uncle Mookie got excited. Went upstairs with James Brown, walked in the room. It was the mob. He walked out with 25%. James Brown said, I had to bring you up here. They were going to kill me, man.
Well, now hold on, because James Brown used to own radio stations, record stores. James Brown was ahead of his time. So I just
did he have the Dynatone? Was that him?
what's that?
Was Dynatone? Was that him?
I forget. I was looking for someone's donation to put on the screen.
Yeah.
Eric,
He said Malcolm was there with the mob.
Okay. Eric, we got your donation. Hey, Penelope, you're welcome to call in. I did not watch the Oscars. Supposedly Conan O'Brien made some type of Drake joke. Okay. I mean, I don't think too many people even still watch the Oscars. That sounds on brand, though, for the Oscars to talk about, pop culture, but I didn't watch. But thank you for your donation, darling. Hold on a second, Goo. Area code 205, you calling in from Alabama, 205? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, sir.
How are you? Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Yes. Okay, great. My name is Primo.
Okay.
I am in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
And I'm enjoying the show.
Thank
I'm
you.
enjoying the show, sir. You talking about Angie Stone? You've got a lot of radio people on your line. I'm actually a 25-year radio vet. I worked with Judy Ellis. I worked with Doc Winter.
Oh man, I know Judy. I know Judy very well.
Yes, Judy. Yeah, great person.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
Speaking about Angie Stone, it's really you talk about how Black people have been the people to bring her down in some aspects, and then she was heavily discriminated against in the business, particularly when it was learned that she was in a relationship with D'Angelo. And D'Angelo actually touches on this, and there's a documentary that dropped.
Okay.
It was a Dutch documentary. It was never released in the United States, but it was a personal documentary.
Discriminated by who? Let me guess. Discriminated by who? Tell me.
Discriminated by against her by Black women in particular.
Say it again, sir.
And
say it again,
by
sir.
Black women in particular.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also by the industry, because of the fact that Angie Stone was a plus-size, dark-skinned woman, and that she was in a relationship with D'Angelo, which at the time was viewed as a sex symbol.
Right.
So, and don't get me wrong, Angie Stone quite instrumental in the success of D'Angelo. Very instrumental.
Yeah.
She wrote on his debut album. She also wrote on the Voodoo album, and was very influential in his success.
Yeah.
But the powers that be, record labels, whatever, felt that she was beneath him.
Right.
Because of he had been perceived as a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she actually touched on this. Of course, we know she's also the voice of the theme song to Girlfriends. She also guest starred on that show. And there was a similar situation where there was an artist and one of the girlfriends was involved with this artist and they felt that she was beneath her. And, it was a very, I say all that to say it's very tragic that was something that happened to her during her career.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that to the table first, because that was a sad reality. Her writing credits, I don't know all of her writing credits, but going back to the 70s again, and in my community section, I posted a little snippet from her YouTube channel. You can see the very old sequence of T-shirts, with the iron-on letters. So she's been official from day one. But she still managed to put out 10 studio albums on her own. The last one was in 2023 called Love Language. Please continue.
Correct. Yeah. And she was influential in the career of D'Angelo and his entire persona, the whole thing. She was one of the masterminds behind it. And it's a shame that she doesn't really get the credit for that.
Well, let's hope she does now. You said yourself you're in the world of radio. Did she? What was her persona like? I never met her. Did you ever meet her? She appeared to be a very humble, nice person.
I never met her. She's always been at shows here in Birmingham. I've never really met her, but as far as her persona, and I know artists that have worked with her.
Okay.
And she's very well respected. Very well respected as a vet, as someone. I mean, people are actually astonished at the fact that when she passed, she was 63. Yeah. But she's always seemed so lively and very, she was very, very young, Yeah.
I appreciate the call, man. Anything else you want to say? Land your plane.
No, I'm enjoying the show. I'm gonna keep listening.
Thank you.
I've been a fan for years.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Okay. All right.
Peace.
Goose, sit tight. Guys, we're taking phone calls. The passing of this foundational Black American queen, Angie Stone, Grammy-nominated. Guys, also in my community section is a little snippet from her history going back to when she was known as Angie B. Hold on a second. Always First Class Media. I saw her live at Coney Island. Let me put that on the screen. Okay. Phone lines are open. Every show, is not going to necessarily be laughy. This is a serious one. I don't mean to put such a somber mood on the table, but this woman is well worth, talking about. Go. What else do you want to say with regards to publishing, royalties?
Well, I mean, just like we spoke before. I mean, the manipulation will continue as long as these people are, blind to the game or have no heart. I mean, they want to stay relevant so much that they don't want to attack the machine, and they take losses on the back end. And then when they turn, like half of my clients are like 50-something years old. All of a sudden they're out of season. They're kind of halfway out the business. And then all of a sudden they got enough heart to go after what happened 30 years ago. It's kind of crazy. And some of this stuff is past the statute of limitations. I'm telling these people like, hey, we can only go back 6 years on breach of accounting and stuff like that. They're thinking, hey, I can go back all the way back to 1980 and stuff like that. I've been waiting for this day. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking, with some of these situations. I mean, I see with famous people just wanting to hold on, you know what I'm saying? And they just won't approach the machine, you know what I'm saying? They just won't until they're 10 years out the business.
Yeah. Hey, Misha, I put your comment on the screen. Yeah, sometimes we got to pause for the cause. It's Monday night, we got to talk about this woman's contributions. Again, I never met her, but I saw her live 1981.
I mean, she's kind of a proof of concept of what I'm saying. Like, she's making the most noise about it now at 60-something.
Yeah.
She had 40-something years to go after this, right?
Yeah. Guys, phone lines open. Lance, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Varnell, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. I'm talking to Goo, guys. And let me put his information back on the screen. And I'm also taking calls. The Most High, are you out there, sir? The Most High. We have to talk about Lamont Roach. Goo, did you see the fight Saturday night? Tank and Lamont Roach, Jr.?
Yeah. What a fight. Hey, that's my last name, so you know who I was rooting for.
Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he beat him, and I thought he would have won by a point or two with that knee. Most refs would have gave the 2 points. I mean, Who cares about if you got grease in your eye? That has nothing to do with. Yeah. I mean, I never seen a pause for that. Like, it's kind of crazy. I thought he would have won by a point or so. He threw more punches. It seemed like he was controlling the center of the ring more. I mean, sometimes a guy like Javante, he's so popular. You really gotta be. It has to be more of a widespread distance. Showing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at the draw, though. Yeah. As long as he didn't get the L.
I was going to say, when they gave the decision that it was a draw, I wasn't mad either. I said, okay, well, at least they didn't totally just rob him. He was robbed, but just like crazy.
Yeah, but they're going to get a bigger bag now. Yeah. They do the rematch. They're going to get a nice bag, I mean, I don't feel sorry for rich people.
Are you up to speed on Coach Cal? Tank's coach. He's been with him for years. Let me look in that live chat. Guys, Coach Cal, anybody want to call in? The Most High, left-handed, anybody?
You said Javante was acting spooky?
Yo, he went over to talk to somebody. He pulled his coat over his head so Coach Cal couldn't hear him. Some real weirdo shit.
He might have been talking shit about Coach Cal.
Yeah. Let me look in that.
I got this goofy here. I got this goofy here training me.
Well, listen, Coach Cal's rep is solid. Anybody have the T, so to speak? I hate to say T, but anybody got the T?
Wait, Coach Cal.
Come on.
In real life, Coach Cal is the person that Cuddy played in The Wire.
What was he?
Yeah, the guy. There was a guy named Cuddy in The Wire that got out of jail.
Okay.
And he got out of jail and he was muscle. He was a boxer, a former boxer that was muscle. They called him Cuddy in The Wire.
Right.
That's based off of Javante's coach.
Yeah. Well, Coach Cal wasn't the trainer for this particular fight, so I'm looking for anybody who wants to talk boxing. Okay. Area code 720. Are you there? Good evening. 720. Yes, no, maybe.
Star.
Hey.
Yo, thank you for bringing me in. You know, this fight, honestly, I think it was just, you know how you meet your homie, only your homie from around the way knows how you fight. And I think this Tank just met his number. That's it. I don't think anybody else could beat him but Roach, just because they grew up from where they were from. Mm-hmm. He knows him from the ground up.
Right.
And honestly, I just think he just met his number. He just has his number. That's it. Like, there's nothing to downgrade Tank. He has been knocking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
You know, sorry.
You have to watch your language, sir. I got to get you out of here.
Right.
I can't do it tonight.
You're right.
Come on.
You're right.
Go ahead.
He has been putting hands on people for a very long time. He has demonstrated his boxing IQ. Number one, because Floyd put him on. Mm-hmm. I don't know why people be trying to put Floyd out the picture. He put him on. He built him up. He gave him everything.
I think most people know that. I think most people know that. But yeah, you're right. I think that Roach has Tank's number. They had a fight years ago. I forget the year, and Tank he beat Roach, but at the same time they were both very light. Do you know what weight division that was at the time? I'll Google it. But
yeah, so
go ahead.
Yeah, they were really young. So it was like really young. Like they were like in young gold medal, like not even going to Golden Gloves. Like they know each other from like 5th grade, you know, 6th grade, like middle school. They've been fighting each other that entire time. And you know, when everybody gets that growth spurt, you like, hey, little Tony got that, you know, he just hit that growth, you know, he hit the growth spurt. Yeah. Now he's 3 feet taller than all of us. You know what I mean? Like that's what happened with Roach and Tank, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like they've been fighting each other their entire life. And Tank did come up from the beginning. He's the one that had the titles, but now it's almost like, you know, it's like you said, it's God's law. It's their revenge. It's, you know what I mean? It was meant to happen. And that's what happened. That's what happened.
Well, I don't necessarily know if God's law applies to this particular conversation, but I hear you. Hey, do you know what's going on with Coach Cal and Tank? It looked really weird after the fight. He was in the ring. What's going on? What happened?
Honestly, yeah, I think he's been dealing with some, you know what I mean? He had something going on the dark, you know what I mean, on the backside that I think the coach was basically trying to tell him, you got to get rid of that. And I think it's a woman, to be honest with you. I think it's a female.
Okay.
And he can't, that's the only way, you know, I think it's really it's a.
But if you don't know, just say you don't know rather than.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I'm speculating. Okay. I'm literally shooting in the dark.
Got you.
I think it's a female that has nothing to do with the coach, but he's telling him to, hey, she's bad for you. Let her go, and he can't let her go.
Okay. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Star. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Guys, phone lines are open. I'm talking to Goo here with regards to Angie Stone, who has passed away. Good. Are you up to speed, man, on Coach Cal, or I'm looking for the most high anybody?
No.
I'm looking for when they fought back in the past. looking for the year. Hey, Deeds, if you have time or anybody, what year did they fight where he lost to Tank? Was that 2019? Area code 857. Good evening. Are you there? 857.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute to Star, man.
Hey,
Salute
man.
to the panel. It's me, Joe Pilot, man.
Hey, man, please
But,
watch.
now,
I got to say, please watch the language. We have to watch the language, all right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Lamont Roach actually and Tank, they never fought in the pros. They fought in like junior nationals or something like that when
but
they were
fought
in the amateurs.
Right.
Yeah, in the amateur. And Tank got the decision and something like. But Lamont said he got robbed over there too. So I guess he's always a victim to Tank to get robbed in the cards. Yeah, but Lamont actually he put an appeal in to get the draw overturned because Calvin was supposed to get disqualified. The moment that grease fell in the eye and he started wiping it off in the towel, like you can't do that in a round. The trainer can't just come up and start cleaning your face. Right. Steve Wilkes, the referee, is a veteran referee, but I just don't know what happened. But two, I'm assuming that Tank is Tank. He's generating $20 to $30 million every event. Who's Lamont Roach? He just sold out a clubhouse in Washington D.C. after he won the belt, fighting on YouTube Pro Box. And Lamont actually he has options now. He can rematch Tank, or he can go to Saudi.
Hold on, because Tank has said that Roach is not going to be his next fight. He's already said that, right?
If the New York State Athletic Commission,
so I'm telling you what I saw, sir. Tank said out of his mouth, Roach will not be his second fight. I'm just saying that's what he said it. Did you see that?
Yeah, he said that, but Tank says a lot of things. At the same time, he tweeted that they were going to run it back too. And then Lamont tweeted and talking about the Anchors drop. Oh yeah, and Barry Hunter and the Calvin Ford thing. Barry Hunter's like from DC, and I think they're all from that area. So I think he was just giving them a chance to be the head trainer, Calvin Ford, because how to respect and stuff. But Calvin Ford's rocking with Tank. I think Tank was just doing him a favor because he just had to cut two head trainers. He paid Calvin as a head trainer too. He just paid him. Both of them got paid as head trainers. So I think it was just a test run. I think it was just giving Barry Hunter a check or something.
Yeah. What happened after the fight? Did you see the weirdness with him walking past Coach Cal and not wanting to talk in his presence? Did you see that?
I bet, man. His disappointment, Calvin. That's like his kid. He's probably, like Calvin's probably.
Did you see it? I'm just asking. Did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it. It was just like, it was like, pictures worth 1,000 words. You really don't know where to take it, but
yeah.
But yeah, man. The grease in the eye. This is Greasegate 2025. Oh yeah, just keep your eyes open if the New York State Athletic Commission changes the draw to a loss. Just keep your eye open for that. Okay. But I'm out.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Okay. Lance, I got your donation. Go back to you. Guys, we're taking the time to acknowledge Angie Stone, put some respect on her name, a.k.a. Angie B. Her lengthy career, her contributions, and I want to open up the floodgates. I want to hear from some of you FBA. Crown, are you out there? I hate to call people's names. Okay, thank you, Deeds. Deeds says she's still looking. I have it on my laptop when they fought. I hate to go grab my laptop in the middle of a conversation. Hold on a second. Let me see if this is okay. Did we speak about 360 deals yet, Goo? Someone sent it a donation.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. But I can get. I'm handling one right now.
Okay. I want to make sure that we also put light on some of the people that bring people to labels and deals. You have to be careful signing anything that gives someone a percentage, because you have these so-called managers or agents who are trying to get you into a 360 deal before you sign a 360 deal. Go ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got a manager who got a famous artist before they went to a Warner Brothers affiliate. The artist signed a 70-30, where the manager gets 30 across the board, touring, publishing, points, just all across the board. You know, the artist didn't really realize, after he sold millions of records, the artist didn't really realize what the contract meant. And, you know, he's highly frustrated these days trying to get out of it. And I actually had to jump his lawyer because he didn't obligate the 360. You know, instead of catching the attitude, you know, he caught an attitude instead of obligating the 360. He just didn't pay for the touring. He never gave my client the 30% for touring. And now he's at the point where he owes my client about like $5.2 million. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm not kicking dirt. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. I'm not kicking dirt in anybody's direction, but I specifically remember Sunshine Anderson. Remember she came out with that track. Heard it all before.
Yeah, she was signed to Marcus
That was
Clark.
a banger. That was a banger.
Yeah.
But she couldn't.
She signed to Marcus Clark.
She couldn't come back because of the production deal that she signed. Also, A. Marie. Who did she sign to?
Well, I know her husband. She was signed to Sony.
Well, before she got married. Before she got married, I'm talking about when she first came out.
I think she signed to my guy Donahue under a production deal or something like that.
Deal.
This guy grew up with.
That's my
she was signed. Yeah,
that's my point.
But yeah, I mean, people almost died. People almost died over that Sunshine Anderson deal.
Yeah, I believe
like bullets, like bullets flew in Beverly Hills over that. I'm telling you.
Hold on a second.
Bullets flew.
Is it Venencia? I got your donation. Okay. Pat McAfee. Yeah, I don't really care about him right now. You can call in if you like, though. And here is, how do I say your name, sir? Sincere. Peace. Sincere. Okay, that's a different spelling, sir. You have to pardon me. I struggle with Ebonics. Okay, he says salute to Angie Stone, FBA Queen. Okay. Phone lines are open. Gu, you were saying, pardon me.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I mean, these production deals could get ugly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to watch who you sign to. Just think, no one was saying nothing to Gene Griffin, you know, after they realized that they lost their publishing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had Floyd there. You get slapped in the head. You know what I'm saying?
For those who don't know the name Gene Griffin, because most of my audience is very young. Gene Griffin, please.
Yeah, a lot of these guys were, you know, street guys, you know, that really understood the talent structure a little bit better than you thought, and they were able to facilitate deals. And you know, it's kind of like how the Robinsons were with the mob. It's just like, you know, some of these guys are just scared to approach the situation, and sometimes it was just too late. You signed what you signed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, some of these guys, 35, 36 years later, they have to file U.S. terminations. The termination goes to the Library of Congress, another copy goes to the label, and another one goes to the publisher. It puts you on notice that I'm getting out this deal after 1989. Yeah. You know, but
hang on a second. Gene Deal, again, for those who don't know, was a very famous. Is he still alive? He was behind a guy, Teddy Riley.
No, Gene Griffin.
Aaron Hall.
Nah, Gene Griffin died.
Okay.
He probably died like 2008, 7, something like that. He passed away. His wife is still alive, holding the catalog, and you know, she's retaining the catalog, and she don't know how to pay nobody. She don't even know if she has to pay anybody.
Okay. Let's not slander her because she's still alive. Now, Gene.
Oh no, I'm not trying to slander her.
Pardon me, Gene Griffin. Gene Griffin.
Gene Griffin.
Gene Griffin. Pardon me, Gene Griffin.
GR Productions.
Gene Griffin was the pre Suge Knight. He was the pre Louis Burrell. Salute to Hammer, his older brother Louis Burrell.
He really was. I seen him.
Oaktown gangster. Oh, I'm sorry. Good.
I seen him scare one of my friends up. You know, when one of my friends was back in '89 when he realized he signed a bad deal. I looked out the window. I seen him, you know, putting authority on my friend. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say no names because this guy's still mad at me over. I think he doesn't like when I mention, you know, these little incidents on podcasts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, I mean, I can only tell the truth of what happened, but yeah, GR, you know, even I, you know, everybody was a little fearful of him. You know, we were young.
Yeah.
You know.
Hold on a second. Barnell, I got your other donation. Okay. And Alejandro, good to hear from you, sir. I was hoping somebody had to have more information. Pardon me, hold on a second, with regards to Coach Cal. Is Florida Boy Jay around? I really want to know, is Tank's team falling apart? Okay. Phone lines are open. Goo, let's go back for a second with regards to people coming into the game today. 360 deals. Social media. Social media has changed the game. So again, somebody looking to get into the game, it's not just your mechanical residuals. It's not just your tour money that they're after. They're after social media money. I literally turned down a couple of radio jobs because the corporations were looking to get a little piece of what I do on social media. And I said, damn, I mean, radio is not dead, but it's very contrived. So your intellectual property along with AI is something that you have to really be conscious of. I'm saying that to those of you young artists or groups that are coming up. You got to be careful giving somebody a percentage. Go ahead, Goo.
Yeah, I mean, but as the game transitions, those will be in the contracts too. They're not going to let you benefit off anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just think. I mean, the biggest scam I see right now in the music industry is the pre-digital contracts. That's the biggest scam I see going on right now.
Can you break that down? Can you break that down?
I mean, yeah, the pre-digital contract is before the era of the iTunes and the streaming and things like that. I mean, if you signed the 80s, 90s, early 2000s deal, you might have signed a deal for 10 points, which really means 10%, right? But then, a few years later or 10 years later, the streaming comes in, and that's outside the contract. And you're supposed to receive 50% from licensing because it's outside the contract. So in reality, you're really getting paid 5 times less off the streaming. You're actually getting 5 times less off of streaming. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting 10%. But like I said, it's licensing. You're supposed to be getting 50% of the streaming. And so the thing about that is that the only way you're going to be able to fix that is through an audit. So say, for example, you can't just email the label and say, hey, I'm getting 10 points in my portal, but, I heard about streaming. It's supposed to be 50%, so I need an adjustment. They're not doing that. You have to go through audit process. And I'll give you an example right now. I'm doing an audit for somebody right now that's super popular. And we did an audit and found some money. This person was getting 17 points. And, we did the audit and said, hey, we got to do a 3 times adjustments, 17 to 50. We need 3 times the income. You know what I'm saying? We found millions. And then Sony was more like, hey, I'm not paying you on that. Basically, we can go to court. We'll be in court for ages. How about this? I'll pay you on 33. I'll double you up. You know what I'm saying? And, my client said, yeah, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the game. And even when you pay the third, they still, even though that they doubled up, they still kept the third. Right. See what I'm saying? So they still made money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a no-win situation with these labels.
Yeah. Yeah. Go. I have more questions. We're having a good conversation. Let me just address Unk's donation. So what's your opinion on Nipsey Hussle's brother checking that Crip member? Isn't that how his brother is in the bosom of Abraham? Sir, that's a whole fact. I thought it was a fucking joke. Pardon my language. It was a joke to see Nip. What is his brother's name? Something Mac. What is Nipsey?
No, Black Sam. Is it Black Sam?
I don't know. How sad was that to see Nipsey Hussle's brother arguing outside with a low-life degenerate? I don't care if he was a Crip. I don't care. Are you kidding me? That's how his brother went out. Thank you for your donation, sir. Niggers. That's all I can say. Niggers. Yeah. Thank you. Hold on a second. Goo, we have to talk about artists and or groups when you sign anything, when you, when somebody wants a percentage of what you do. Be careful if they want you to pay for arbitration. If something goes wrong or something is not understood, and don't agree to pay for the arbitration process. Goo, can you speak to that? Arbitration.
And the 360 I mentioned earlier, my guy got sued for $7 million over a discrepancy.
Right.
All right. Mind you, he's not the artist, but the artist had to pay half the lawyer fees.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, he signed it. You know, he didn't see it coming until 2-3 years later, and all of a sudden there was a lawsuit in Southern District for $7 million, and it was stuck there. Went to California, got dropped. It went back and forth, and the lawyer fees was $1 million and change. You know what I'm saying? And the artist had to pay half the money.
Never mind the legal fees. The arbitrator can be independent of the lawyers.
Yes, the arbitrator.
Independent.
Yes.
Hang on.
Yeah.
And I've never had to pay an arbitrator. I've never agreed to arbitration. This is something that you have to pay attention for if you have no legal understanding. Listen, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but in the MTV mailroom, when I worked there for a couple of years, I used to just, see certain things, and I would ask questions, but that's how they always caught people, arbitration. Also, with regards to PR, the labels or whatever company you sign to, a digital platform, you can't just leave your brand in the hands of a PR person. But you do have to understand that they are going to slip that in, that you possibly paid independent PR person. You want to speak to that before we go to the phone lines, Goo?
Well, I mean, I haven't really dealt on that side with a PR person or anything like that. So, I mean, I haven't really experienced that portion so far. I mean, I've seen people run off with the artist's YouTube page and earn money off that.
Oh my goodness, Wendy Williams! They took her whole YouTube page.
Yeah, I got numerous clients that lost their YouTube pages from managers, friends, side companies, people that they met once. Yeah, and all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I've definitely seen that. I've seen people control other people's Instagram pages and stuff like that.
Right.
And PRs, people like that. Yeah, I've seen that part before. And they don't notice what's going on until a couple years later. I'm going through a YouTube thing with an artist right now that was signed to Rockefeller, and he never seen any YouTube content, any YouTube monetization money or anything like that. Some guy in Long Island got his page.
Yeah. Okay, so star of the Fit Tonight Spotless. Thank you so much. Oh, here's a guy we need to talk to. Hang on a second. The Most High, is that you, sir, tapping in on a Monday? The Most High. Peace. I got my homie Goo on the line. We're talking about Angie Stone, music business.
How you
doing? All sorts
Goo,
of stuff.
Peace, Lord. Peace, respect. Peace.
Where do you want to start, man? But please don't let me forget. I need to know the intricate details, if you know, between Coach Cal and Tank. What happened Saturday night?
So first and foremost, can I say, rest in perfection, rest in peace to Angie Stone?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I must do that. She's definitely one of my favorite artists. Let me just say that.
Okay.
From Sequence on, her song, where they used the Backstabber sample, was one of her biggest hits.
Okay.
It was one of my favorite songs. I don't know the exact title, but it's definitely one of my favorite songs. I don't know it word for word, but it's one of my favorite songs from her. Okay. The song she made, Black Brother, it might be corny to some, but some of us who still are in tune with our blackness or whatever, that definitely was an anthem type. It was a very heartfelt, soulful song. So I big up all her accomplishments and what she meant to us. So, that I just had to say that off the bat. Now, in terms of the coach, Kyle Ford and Javante Davis rift, they're not even elaborating on that. So I did my research on that. Nobody is saying in detail what caused the rift. What was being said was Coach Ford went back to coaching amateurs. He said that's his piece.
Okay.
Those are his exact words. He said that's his piece. So I guess he may not be, totally enthralled with professional boxing and the theatrics and the circus that might bring. And I think he finds his solace in mentoring the youth and developing the youth. He said he went on his Twitter or his X. It says, he wants to make champions in boxing and in life.
Okay.
So that's his, but nobody, not one quote. They've been asked. I read it in print. I looked on videos.
Okay.
they are keeping that, under wraps. So they're not elaborating on terms of why there was a switch in his camp.
But now he wasn't the trainer for this fight, correct, Coach Cal?
No, sir. He wasn't.
Okay. Do you think that had?
I'm sorry.
Do you think that had anything to do with the outcome? Because they fought before. I was looking for I got to go grab my laptop. I got it right there. The year that they fought, previous
2011. 2011. They fought twice, and Gervonta won 2 close decisions.
Right. Can you
2 close decisions.
Can you email that to me, please, when you get a second?
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
So, hey man, Roach stepped up to the plate. He stepped up to the plate. And let me just say this before I go to you. He was not only mentally there, but he was countering what Tank was doing. His counters were incredible. Take it from there.
That's exactly what I was going to say. His counter punching was impeccable. His timing was impeccable.
Yeah.
His parrying blows, his evading punches, all that. He was able to take punches, roll with the punches, but just like how you said, his defense was on par. The defense was as best as I've ever seen. I saw him fight Jamel Herring. Shakur Stevenson fought Jamel Herring and beat Jamel Herring easy. But Roach fought Jamel Herring, and Jamel Herring schooled him. And I didn't really think he had a chance going into this fight. And, I thought Tank was going to wash him in between the 4th and 6th round, based upon what I know from Tank and what I saw from Roach in his prior fights. However, him being familiar with Tank from back in the days, he probably told himself, I'm not losing to this dude a 3rd time. So let's get it cracking. Let's turn up. You know what I'm saying? And let the chips fall where they may.
I gotta jump in. It was like me and my older brother after getting washed for years. And one day I said, "Yo, let's go out in the driveway." I took my shirt off. I'm like, I'm rocking with this nigga. It was in the late 70s. But you would say, go ahead.
Nah, but I think that had to be part of the thought process too. Like, first of all, I'm familiar with him. I'm not scared of him. Y'all dudes are scared of him because he's been knocking y'all out. I know, boy. I'm from DC. He's from Baltimore, so that's more of a rivalry. There's more pride involved in that, more incentive involved in that, more motivation, inspiration, all that. And it's the biggest stage. So he's in New York. This is the biggest fight he ever had. He got to fight boy a 3rd time. He like, hell no, this is not happening. So, shame on Tank, because he could have ran through him and then just solidified himself as one of the greatest ever, because once you beat everybody that's in front of you, they can't say everybody you fought was a tomato can. He's been knocking out whoever's in front of him. So, shame on Tank. They need to get that rematch popping ASAP, man, for real.
Well, hang on. I feel differently. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong. Now's not the time to give Roach a rematch, because his energy he's there. He's there. Someone called in earlier. Salute to that person. I forget your name, sir. He said, and I agree, Roach has got Tank's number. Those counters were crazy. Tank has got to come with a whole new strategy, if you ask me. And if Coach Cal is not going to be there, then he's got to come differently to a guy who knows him over the years, and a guy who is at his level now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so I respect your take on that. Now, there's 2 things that I have to say about boxing. First of all these dudes need to stop playing and fight each other, even if that means a tough opponent. That even though you got to draw, and even though you got to draw, that was a good enough, competitive enough fight that it would help spice boxing back up. So, like I said before, these dudes spend too much time on X, on TikTok, on Instagram, going back and forth. I'm a bust your ass, you corny, you this, you that, they don't fight. They haven't been fighting each other. So if Lamont Roach has boosted himself up to be in the top 5 of contenders, if he's a top contender now, yes, and also there's a narrative out there that, again, Tank has been fighting tomato cans, a lot of Latin fighters or whatever the case is. So if that's the case, if they felt the black fighter gave him the biggest challenge, other than Isaac Pitbull Cruz, but If Roach gave him the biggest challenge since Pitbull Cruz, guess what? You need to fight Roach again. Start silencing your critics and start building up, your resume fighting the top 10 contenders or the top 5 contenders. That means Haney. That means Stevenson. That means maybe Loma. That means Teo. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's up there, you need to fight them. And that's the problem with boxing. It's too much Twitter fingers, not enough fighting. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find marquee fights now. So Tank being the biggest draw in boxing, guess what? Fight your toughest opponent again, and let's see if you bout it, and you built for the top contenders in your weight classes.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Yes, sir. You're right. The Most High. Okay. So 2011, it was an amateur fight. WBA. Okay. Do you have more details so I can maybe put this in the live chat for people?
Well, what I'll do is I'll go to the site that I found it on and I'll send it to you, because it might have been a little bit more detailed in terms of like how close the fight was, a split decision. One of the fights was a split decision. So, and then the other fight, I'm not 100% sure how that ended in terms of the scoring, but they were both close fights. If I want to just make a synopsis and make it brief, if they were both close fights. So they were competitive. And like I said, the DMV area, all that, there's major pride and rivalry going on over there, for in everything. So it's not surprising that Roach, showed out and gave his best performance ever.
Hold on a second. According to DC Amateur Boxing Blog, the rematch, okay, this is the second time they fought, took place in August 2011 in the 125-pound weight class. Davis winning by the score of 14-6. Okay. Thank you, Deeds. I got your email. I can't watch that video right now. I was looking for something in print. It's always been like that. The National Gloves, 2012. I won the National Glove. Okay. Yeah. So what this says to me is that, and to other people, is that Roach just he came up, got his weight up. Got his weight up.
That's it. It's not like, he fought his way up. Like I said, he fought former champions. He fought former upstarts and made his way through the ranks and all that. So he made his bones. So pause. But anyway, long story short, also they're investigating, they're doing an investigation based upon the referee not calling that knee a knockdown. Anytime you take a knee, even voluntarily, it is supposed to be ruled an automatic knockdown. That would have made it at least a 10-8 round. That totally changed the complexion of the scoring of the fight. It's probably going to Roach. There's no draw, even if he wins by a majority decision or 1 point. He deserved to have that knockdown for that round.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the referee. Yeah, I didn't like him. I don't like the ref. Steve Willis. I don't like Steve Willis at all.
Steve Willis be making wild faces and all that. And this time, his eyes be wide open. How your eyes be wide open all the time in the damn ring and you couldn't see that was a knee? He bugging.
Yeah.
And Gervonta bugging for making that excuse, too. Like, come on, man. You serious?
Oh, yeah. Talking about the grease in his hair. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. What else do we need to acknowledge? I have to ask you if we can just go left here for a second. What's going on with the Lakers, the Most High?
The Lakers beat the bum ass Clippers yesterday. So they looking all right. I think they won 6-7 in a row now. So they looking all right for now. That's good. It's March. Let's see what happens a month from now. Let's see if they gel. Let's see if players stay healthy and in shape and engaged and all that. And we won't be able to tell. They built for the playoffs. They built for the finals right now. They running off a good win streak right now. It's looking great. And nobody cares about whether Bronny is playing or not. Nobody cares about JJ Redick. None of that. The team is winning. There's enough praise to go around. There's enough delusion going around. And I think they're gonna end up playing Boston because I think that's what the NBA wants.
Okay. Hey man, I appreciate you. Anything else you want to mention before you go?
Nah. I definitely reach out via email though. Appreciate you always.
Yes,
Peace, Roach.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Peace.
All right, you take care. Take care.
Right. Goo, sit tight, guys.
Sure.
My homie, my friend Goo is he's my co-host this evening. We're talking about Grammy-nominated R&B singer Angie Stone, aka Angie B, a hip hop pioneer. If you're not up to speed, you can go to my community section. I posted a small clip. Goo, do you assist with contract support? You know, if somebody has a contract they need a set of eyes on, or do you just send them to a lawyer? Yeah?
Absolute. I've helped many bad boy artists, you know, with their contracts years later, and got them a bag of money. 20 years later, 25 years later, them not really realizing the obligation of the contract, me using it against the publisher inside the contract. You know, some of these contracts have points and publishing inside one contract. Right. I've reversed, you know, I've reversed over $500,000 in one shot for a bad boy artist. You know, so I did a few million for, you know, for bad boy people so far. You know what I mean? So in a short period. I mean, like I said, this is what I do. I find the weaknesses of you know, I find the deceptions of what the record label's not telling you. You know what I'm saying? The more popular the artist, the more pages. No one really looks at the royalty statements. They wait for the wire. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't care. Oh, I got a great lawyer. My lawyer is the best lawyer. He's not reading your royalty statements either. Your royalty statement is 30,000 pages. Number two, you know how many lawyers come to me for me to tell them what the royalty statement says? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had some of the most popular lawyers that you heard of, Michael Jackson's lawyer, all sorts of stuff, you know, that I've just superseded whatever they were saying and got money when they said that there was no money.
Guys, please take notice to Goose. IG information on the screen. Please don't email me after the show. Yo, how do I contact your homie Goo? His information is right there.
I mean, hey, I mean, there's the thing, man.
That always happens.
I wouldn't be.
It always happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't be ashamed to say I can't really comprehend, you know, what this says. Instead of just nodding to the lawyer, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I do consultation. I'll break down the ASCAP statements, the BMI statements, the PRO statements. I'll show you, you know, what's going on the master side in your portal. I'll tell you how the publishing's coming in. I'll make you whole, at least in the mind, so you know how to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about signing the contract. It's more, to me, it's about when you got to go to war. You know what I'm saying? And when you got to go to war, you got no, you know, you're sloppy on offense and you got no defense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're just scoring on you. You know what I'm saying? So
hold on.
You need to, you know,
hold on 1 second. I remembered something and I just wanted to Google it and make sure. Salute to the caller who called in earlier. I think his name, oh God, I'm drawing a blank here. D Minor. He mentioned Jackie Wilson, one of the greats. And
absolutely.
Yes, and one of my favorite top 5 R&B singers of all time, Elvis Presley. That's a whole fact.
Hey, did you notice?
Hold on. Elvis Presley, for those who don't know, paid for a lot of Jackie Wilson's hospital bills. Jackie Wilson had a stroke in 1975, and he was bedridden for a long time. And Elvis paid his bills. I just wanted to make sure people knew that. You were saying, Goo?
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know. I mean, like, you know, I got little things, fun facts and stuff like that. I don't know if you knew Star, like back in the late 60s, early 70s and stuff, 50s, a lot of these black writers were signed to BMI, you know, as a PRO. Mm-hmm. James Brown and a whole bunch of other people. That's due to the fact that ASCAP wouldn't survey black music.
Right.
You know, they didn't believe in that. They didn't want to put no money in the black people's pockets. That's why all those guys were over at BMI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just games on top of games these companies play. Like, you know, I mean, I still see the racism, you know, and the manipulation, you know, to now with these major labels. I mean, I don't think anything's changed. I don't really think that they're even realizing what they're doing. You know. But I mean, I know BMG did a survey, before, maybe 10 years ago or so, and it proved that black people get paid the least.
Mm. Hey, Goo, since we're talking, and
it was actually audit. It was an audit.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
Okay. Sure. Kevin Liles has just been named in a sexual assault case. Ooh. He stepped down right after Diddy got arrested, didn't he?
Yeah, I was at his office not long before that, and he was up in there hanging out.
I've got nothing against him personally. I just always got a weird vibe. It's a weird vibe, you know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm on that sucker shit tonight.
Hey, the times I've been around him, he seemed real pleasant. His wife used to come to my people's restaurant and hang out. I think she was like the leader of the Girl Scouts or something like that.
You mean his ex-wife?
I mean,
his ex-wife?
Yeah.
When did she divorce him?
So
go. I don't mean to slow you down, but when did she divorce him?
I have no idea. Within the last 2 years. Yeah. It seemed like something like that.
She said, "I'm out of here."
But like I said,
she said, "I'm out of here."
Kevin.
I've got to save. I'm going to save. You know, save what we've got. You know, you're headed for. You're headed for a fall, allegedly. Good. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Remember, Kev got that $100 million, but then when they sold that company for $400 million, they split it 4 ways. Yeah. What was that, like 3-4 years ago when they sold 300? You know, the females get hungry after that sometimes. You know.
Hold on a second. Somebody says facts. Elvis was real. What? Caught in a trap, can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. That was my nigga. I used to watch Elvis Presley movies.
I was about to say that.
On a regular.
You used to watch those movies?
What? I don't give a fuck. Pardon my language. Anyway, all right, guys, there's Goo's IG information on the screen. What else, man, are we forgetting? Hold on. Anybody got any questions for Goo? Now's the time.
Yeah, I mean, anybody got a PRO question
for Goo?
A contractual issue? I'm here. You know, I could discuss. I could maybe answer your question real quick. You know, I'll give you some free consultation over the Star Show.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say free consultations, but Goo's here.
Well, I'll give them a little tidbit, and they could call me in the rest.
Hold on a second. Let me I have to acknowledge someone. She sent me a very nice email. Hold on a second. And Janet, are you out there, Janet? Guys, Janet sent me an email. I think Janet's going to be biting my swag. Janet, are you out there? Hang on a second. Is Janet in that live chat? I'm not going to blow it up just yet. Janet, are you available? Hakeem, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. Phone lines are open. Darius, I got your donation. Clayton, I got your donation. Clayton, Goo's information is on the screen, sir. Right there. Contact Goo directly. And Jamal, thank you for tapping in. Okay. Goo, I'm sorry, you were saying? Back to you.
Yeah, I can't really remember what I was saying, but like I said, I'm here to, for some consultation. Everybody wants to know anything about ASCAP BMI, how ASCAP, hides money on you, how BMI plays games. None of these companies are your friend.
No,
that's just what it is. That's I can pretty much prove it. You know what I'm saying? I got a client that was missing 149 records on this statement.
Oh wow, Jesus!
I had to. This is like 3 years ago. I had to get a company to retroactively pay him from 2011 to about 2023. His Schedule A, he was getting paid on 19 songs. He had like 170 songs in total that he was getting paid through his publisher. The system actually lost 149 songs.
Hold on a second.
And now he gets like a 2.5 multiple pot biannual.
Okay.
Than what he was getting previously.
Peace to the homie Sadat X. He's got a brand new track out with Diamond D. It's in my community section. It's called Get With It. I say again, get with it. Guys, if you leave a comment under Sadat X's post in my community section, I'll give you a week's free promo in my community section. You have to leave a comment with regards to your opinion on the song. I need you to listen to the song. 1 week's free promo, your banner, your links in my community section, all right? Also, Eye to Eye, I see you, sir. He says Elvis got at least 10 solid classic bangers in the cut. That's a whole fact, sir. It's a whole fact. Hey, Goo, let's talk about because you and I had these lengthy conversations behind the scenes, and now we have to formulate them so that other people can understand what it is that I want to convey to them through you. How did someone like a George Clinton, who I interviewed once upon a time, how did George Clinton get tied up in so much legal stuff. And I saw Parliament Funkadelic live at least 10 times. I saw them at the Apollo Theater, early 80s. It was the farewell tour then. It was right after Knee Deep came out. How did George Clinton get involved in so much legal stuff? I don't want to disrespect him, man.
Well,
please.
I know he was tied in with Armin Baladian. I think he's a Michigan resident, maybe for the past 40 years or so. I think maybe due to George Clinton have rights over the whole group. I think the whole group signed with Bridgeport Music. I actually had Gary Scheider's estate for a little while until I realized that he signed over his rights to Bridgeport Music for ownership before he passed away. Okay. The wife thought that she had some type of publishing rights, but it seemed like she didn't. Bridgeport, bought his rights. But basically, my lawyer was George Clinton's attorney, and I can say this now. My lawyer got him a great deal, multi-millions, on the negotiation against Bridgeport, and a 2-year for him to remain for like another 2 years with 50-50 split, and after 2 years, he gets to retain his whole ownership and be out of Bridgeport Music. And then he turned around to my lawyer and said, "No, I want to sue the whole music industry." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He kind of thinks different. You know what I'm saying? He kind of thinks different, but.
I have to say this though, he was way ahead of his time. Pardon me. George Clinton, because he had so many groups on different labels, and it was the same group. It was the same group. He had Funkadelic signed to Warner Brothers. Parliament was signed to Casablanca. He had the Brides of Brides of Funkenstein.
Brides of Funkenstein.
Oh my goodness. Fuzzy Haskins took Funkadelic as well. The name, I know they were involved in legal stuff. And he put out an album. I forget the name of that label, but George was ahead of his time in terms of utilizing the labels for just one band. Go ahead. I had to say that.
Hey, but what I can tell you, as a publisher, how they could finesse you is that I just underpay you biannual, underpay you, and you go broke, and then next thing you know, I turn around and buy you out with your own money. Yeah, I got so and so, and now I retain your catalog. It's a whole finesse game. I'm just underpay you, give you fake royalty statements. You know what I'm saying? Keep you broke. You know what I'm saying? Just give you just enough. Then down the line, I'll put a multiple on that fake royalty statement. You know what I'm saying? And buy you out with your own money. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, a person owns a copyright for their lifetime plus 70 years. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're 50 years old and you die at 80 years old, that was 30 years of copyright ownership right there, plus another 70 years after your death. So you got 100 years of royalties that you could collect. And mind you, the statutory rate goes up and up, so you get paid more and more. You were getting paid the statutory rate in the 90s and early 2000s was 7.4 cents. Then it went up to 9.1 cents. And now it's at like 12, 13 cents now. It keeps on going up. So you keep on getting a raise and stuff like that. So there's a lot of value in that. So, you're looking at selling 100 years of your royalties for somebody giving you a 10 multiple on what you're getting right now for the last 3 years. You're averaging 200,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? I'll put a 10 multiple on that and buy that from you for $2 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But basically you're trading 10 years for 100 years.
Guys, I'm talking to my friend Goo, and
you know what I'm saying? So you lost 90 years.
Yeah, we're going over things by way of publishing. And again, this is out of respect for Angie Stone, who's passed away, from also known as Angie B. Toward the end of her life, I would say even maybe 5 or 6 years back, she was talking about not being compensated properly for her contributions. She was a hell of a songwriter, if you don't know, going back to the early days of Sugar Hill Records. And in case you are foundational Black American, you need to know this. They were out of Columbia, South Carolina. They were writing music for Sugar Hill. Yep. Sugar Hill. So, this whole thing about who started hip hop, you have to look at sequence. Angie B, Cheryl DePearl, and Blondie, Columbia, South Carolina, late 70s. I just want to say that. Also, guys, I'm looking at, I forget what year that was. I saw Parliament Funkadelic at the Apollo Theater. I could have swore that was George Clinton's farewell tour. But then he came back in 1983 with the P-Funk All-Stars.
Right. Wow.
What label was that on? Yeah, I was at that.
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
P-Funk. Where was Bootsy placed in that? Bootsy was what? He was the what was he? Was Bootsy?
Bootsy was always down with them. But I'm just talking about George Clinton came out with.
I just wanted to know if he was a George Clinton artist or not. Was he like under his production deal, or he was solo on his own?
But both. Hold on, I'm looking for the P-Funk All-Stars. What label was that on? I'm having trouble. Here it is. Wait a minute. Disco. Guys, phone lines are open. Goo is here. Goo's taking your questions. If not, we're gonna wrap this up. Gonna wrap it up. P-Funk All-Stars, Urban Dance Floor Gorillas. What label was that? Of course, it says page not found. Jesus Christ. P-Funk All-Stars musical band. I'm gonna have to click on this Parliament Funkadelic. Thank you, Deeds. I had the cassette. What are you Googling, Goo? Notable.
How'd you know? I'm looking up the P-Funk All-Stars.
What do you see label-wise?
Plainfield, New Jersey, Michigan, Warner Brothers, Casablanca.
Was it?
That's what it says here.
Urban Dance Floor Gorillas. Deeds says, hold on a second. He kept putting out music. Deeds says P-Vine Records.
Don't see that. Oh, wait, P-Funk All-Stars. Hold up. Oh, wow, they had their own.
Okay, P-Vine. Thank you, Deeds. P-Vine Records released several albums by the P-Funk All-Stars, including Dope Dogs and The Best. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a little cassette that I had. Thank you, Deeds. Okay. 105, one fam, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. Goo, I want to talk to you for a second about the Lux. You did extensive work with them, and I know you don't want to. Don't repeat what Sheik Luch said. That's my guy. But what happened with the Lux, and was it Jay-Z or Rock Nation? Can you speak to that?
Well, no. I mean, they're maintained by Rock Nation. I think for management purposes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they tried to get me fired from the Locks a couple of times, and undermine me from my services. I got into a little argument with one of them, thinking that they knew more than me. I mean, I could be this guy's boss when he was supposed to be like their specialist. I mean, this guy's not 10% of me at the end of the day, no names mentioned, but this is what I do, bro. I mean,
well, no. I'm talking about earlier when we were talking, and you said the Locks. What'd you say they did?
Yeah, I can't really mention. I can't really mention that part.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, 1983, Urban Dance Floor Gorillas was on CBS Records. That was a here it is right here. Urban Dance Floor Gorillas. Yeah, label Uncle Jam CBS. Thank you, Deeds. Okay. Well, look, man, if nobody else has questions, I guess I'm going to wrap this up. We've tried to give as much props as we can to Angie Stone.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. I mean, trust me, I've probably got like 80 people that hit me on Instagram already.
Nice.
So I mean, yeah. So I'm sure I'll be all night talking to somebody, till the morning, trying to see what's going on.
Yeah. Hey, man,
I appreciate it.
You and I catch up tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm around anytime.
Thank you, Goo. Salute.
All right, y'all take care. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Man, absolutely. That's a friend of mine, Goo. That's his IG information on the screen. Guys, there's my email address. If you're tapping in, or if you're in the queue and I don't necessarily pick up, I may take a break shortly. Again, salute to the legacy of Angie Stone. You know what I always found to be interesting? She's from South Carolina, but yet she was one of the front runners, correct me if I'm wrong, of the neo-soul movement. Yes, no? Anybody from Philly in there? Uh-oh, that's what I want to talk to. Aha! Good to hear from you, Janet, on a Monday night.
Hey, Star, how are you?
How are you? Biting my swag? Biting my swag. I'm not going to blow you up. I just want to say that to you in front of everybody. Biting my swag. What's going on, Janet?
I'm just chilling, just drinking some tea. That's all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Angie Stone, huh? Did you like her music, Janet?
Yes, I like some of the radio play music.
Okay.
I don't know too much about like the B-side and things as such, but the radio play music, yes, I did like her music. She was a wonderful performer. I don't know anything about her, like her private life or personally. I didn't like research her or anything.
Okay.
But from what I gathered by the commentary on the YouTube, the social media, she was a really beautiful spirit. And tragic what happened, it's a shame, but God has spoken, so it's nothing else, we can say or do but to honor her memory.
Okay. Someone called in earlier, and salute to that man. He kept it real. Black women were hating on Angie Stone. They were hating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same thing.
Come on.
No, I'll wait till you're done.
No, I'm done. I said my piece. Go ahead. Hating on me.
No, I believe he's 100% right. It's the same thing like with the Fantasia thing when she was in the movies. For some reason, it seems like the darker skinned women, no matter how talented, how brilliant, how beautiful they are, just beautiful. It seems like Black folks as a whole, not that they're a monolith or everybody thinks the same, but the majority, I could say that, the majority seems to reduce Black women to less than. That's the only thing I could say. And where they see Angie with the D'Angelo person, the singer, and they didn't think that she was good enough for him, even though she was, as they say, I didn't know she wrote for him, both albums and everything, and most likely put him on, but yet because of the color of her skin, but we're conditioned that way, We're conditioned that way through television, through media, through the movies. I mean, like people that come in this country, they.
I hope you're not blaming white people. Now, hold on a second. Hope you're not blaming white people. We conditioned,
No, Where you going?
Where you going?
What I'm saying is, someone call you a name long enough, you start to believe it, and I believe that we as a whole, we have to be retrained. We have to retrain ourselves to love ourselves. And people say, well, we have a lot of successful Black people. A lot of people are doing this and that. Yes, but as a whole, no, because we still put each other in these peg holes that we don't belong. We don't belong there. And it's not someone else they have trained us to do it on our own, put it that way. And that goes back to your show a couple shows back about, was slavery a choice? So now,
hold on a second. Hey, Shani, I got your donation, Dawn. She says, always loved Angie Stone, never hated on her. Thank you, Shani, for your donation. Janet, you were saying?
No, it goes back to that. It's slavery a choice, but now we're dealing with mental slavery because we look at in our community, we could love someone, but we could also put them in a peg. We could pigeonhole them to certain things that they should not do. They should not go this high up. This is their plateau. You know, we put degrees on people of how far they could go based on how dark their skin is. That's what we do. We do that, and until we be truthful with ourselves, we're not going to stop this. It's a mass cycle, and we have to stop it. And we have to stop it because before this tragic accident, we weren't talking about Angie Stone.
Well,
you understand?
Hang on. Can I jump in? Maybe I don't have the best memory of her, but it was 1981. I was in the building. East Harlem at the Regiment Armory, May the 9th, 1981. I even printed this out. This was Sugar Hill's first annual rappers convention. I had on plaid pants, red suede Pumas with elastic in there instead of the shoelaces. I had on a mock neck and a sheepskin, and there she was right in front of me, and I'm geeked up. I said, I gotta get some brown sugar like that. I was geeked up. I'm not gonna lie. And
so what type of shoes you had on that day? I just want to see where you were.
I just said red suede Pumas with elastic. We used to use elastic so that it was big and thick. Anyway, so there she was looking like Glodine, Barry White's wife with the long nails. I said, oh God, I gotta get some brown sugar like that. Fine as rock. Honest, I just want to say that Angie B. That was her name back then. Go ahead.
Right. Well, you know, you also told us the story how you used to go over to the city with the white boys, and they used to have a fetish for the darker skinned black women. I think maybe that. Yeah. I think maybe that was your driving force. If I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
No. I grew up in the suburbs and I couldn't get my hands on the brown sugar. So she was.
So it's a fetish to you.
Well, what you call it, whatever you want to call it. But there she was on stage, gonna funk you right on up. You remember that jam? Oh, you too young for that?
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna send it to you tomorrow.
No, you don't have to send it to me tomorrow. Well, I know this.
I will send it to you tomorrow. That's gonna be the song of the day.
Right on up. Go ahead. I'm sorry, you were saying go ahead.
So I think so. And that guy Tank, what's his guy name? Davis or whatever.
Javante
you know, he
Davis.
took that knee. He lost that fight,
yes.
You know.
Yes, he lost.
He lost that fight. He even admitted on his social media that he did take a knee. He took a knee, regardless of the reason why.
He's not saying he lost, but he did take a knee. When you take that knee,
no,
you're supposed to get that standing 8 count. Go ahead.
Right, but he stated on his social media that he did take a knee. He was making excuses why he took a knee, but he stated that he took a knee.
Okay.
So my whole thing is that sports it's like you can't even watch sports now because it's not being called fair. You know, a lot of people, was very disappointed in that. So that's all I was calling for.
Hang on a second, sir. Well, sir, Janet is not drunk. Hang on, this man sent to the donation. Janet works hard. She has a career, and her and I, we talk. I'm sitting here sipping. It's okay if she sips it. Janet is former military, U.S. Navy, right, Janet?
Yes.
Yeah. Weren't you stationed in San Diego? I forget.
No. I was in California, but I think I've been giving out too much information about myself.
Gotcha.
Because I have people in the comments and stuff.
I'll pull back.
They be asking me certain things and telling me certain things and asking me about certain places, and I'm like, hey, I don't want everybody to know who I am just yet. Let me retire,
right,
and then we can talk, because then I don't have to answer to anyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, now hang on a second before you go. Should we talk about this now or behind the scenes? You about to bite my swag, Janet? You about to bite my swag?
Star, They are offering $745 a month rent for veterans in a senior citizen home, and you have to be 55 or older.
Right.
I'm 56 now.
Right.
I'm leaving this house to my kid. He can handle this, and I'm going to go get me an apartment, and I ain't gonna worry about nothing because when I drop dead, the house is gonna be his anyway.
Right.
So I might as well go ahead and pay this $75 for this 2-bedroom loft in South Jersey and chill out. I mean, like that makes more sense. And the money that I would have been spending on another house, I could just travel with. Hey, I'm leaving them life insurance.
You now taking road trips? Hang on. You about to get an RV and take road trips like me? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not going to take road trips because I can't drive like that. I've been a crash somewhere. But I'm going to be going places for a month instead of just 2 weeks out of a year.
Good for you.
I mean, like, I'm leaving them life insurance and the other one I'm leaving the house. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy myself. Why not?
All right.
Why not? I mean, like, it's $745 a month, senior citizen. Who is not going to take that? Who's not going to 2-bedroom, loft, beautiful neighborhood, beautiful area?
I hear you.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Why not?
Oh,
and then the only reason.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
Then the only reason is that much is because I'm a veteran. So I could get that. So that's what I'm going to do. Give me that. I'm going to give me that beautiful. You should see it. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It got like nice patio, beautiful view, all this stuff.
Okay.
No, I'm going to go ahead and take it.
All right. We'll talk in the morning via email when you send me your song. Then I'll respond. I couldn't do nothing on the weekend. I was busy this weekend, but I got you tomorrow morning.
Okay, great.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Night.
Night. That's Janet. All right. Okay.
Nobody knows.